this question about prophecy. So, are people that are born with this, I don't know, this knack to be a prophet, like some sort of ability, like unnatural ability to connect with the skills of a prophet?
Mm-hmm.
Or can anyone, I don't know, potentially become a prophet? I mean, I'm thinking about Bilam, he was such a Rasha,
mm-hmm.
and yet he managed to have prophecy to speak to Hashem directly. So I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering, is this like a thing? Like, are people born with this sort of skills or ability more than others to become a prophet?
Maybe it's some potential. People were born with some potential. Some people are more spiritual. Some people are not spiritual at all. Like this Gemara, this Hiddush, okay, this Hiddush, okay. Anything else? Where are you going to eat? Okay, thank you very much. It's time for a dinner. Like there are many people like that, and some people would learn Torah and forget to eat. Why? Because it was so interesting. I was so involved. I was breaking my head on this issue. You understand? So there is some, of course, there are some prerequisites, but there was schools for prophets. So you have to develop this. So even if your child or your little kid and you have a little talent to draw, okay, if you don't develop this talent, so you're going to draw you're going to be 30 years old, you're going to be draw like 7 years old. You understand? But if you have this talent and you start training, you hire good teachers, send them to special school, right, and invest in that child, and he or she are going to draw for many hours. Of course, this skill would flourish, right? But the skill needed the initial talent. Understand? So, but this initial talent was not enough to become this big painter, right? So same with Havdal, but same with a prophecy. A person born with some tendency, right, some spirituality, but then they would go to the schools of prophets. Right? Eliyahu had the schools of prophets, thousands of prophets. Elisha also, many prophets, and there were they called and they from here actually from relationships between Eliyahu and Elisha, we learn this how to treat your rabbi. So right, it says that this rabbi, when Eliyahu was taken into the by the wind, right, like a twister, right, with like tornado, right, from this world, and Elisha was standing on the ground. He said, "My father, the light of Israel." I think, father for sure, light of Israel, or something like that. So from here we see that all of the students, who they consider to be spiritual children, right, of this rabbi, of the teacher. Understand? And he was treating them as such, and he is a prophet. He would train them how to be a prophet, how to understand this all of these messages from Hashem, because all of the message was not as clear as Bilam would get, because he was stupid, right, and arrogant, and not as Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe Rabbeinu also, as Rambam explained, he was exception. So he would see, as we learned this in Shmoneh Prakim, and in Shmoneh Prakim, Rambam. So he said Moshe Rabbeinu was on such a high level, so he saw the Hashem through the whatever it means, so Hashem, through the glass. So it's not exactly like you open the window, but through the glass, like a little foggy glass, right? A little, but others like frosty glass. They knew they would see like the shadows behind, but it's only like silhouette, but not exactly like who is behind this glass. You understand? So, and these prophets would have to discern what Hashem was telling them. And that's why many prophets prophecies are like riddles, like you understand every word what it says, but what together it says you do not understand, right? So there were schools of prophets, and they were like trained. Um, they were training themselves, right? I mean, through the rabbi, in order to become prophets. If the prophecy is going to come, maybe yes, maybe not, but at least this person is ready, so purify himself, right? In order to receive prophecy. That's so yeah. It's like you have to work on yourself. Okay. So basically, I think Rambam said. Maybe it was a Rambam or a Rabbeinu Yonah. I don't remember exactly, but then Ramchal has also said in the Mislas Yesharim. We will not get to that, but in 26th chapter, so 25th chapter, so everybody can get on a level of Ruach HaKodesh. Meaning like he can hear the voice of Hashem, and it's like understand many things. Why? Just working on yourself. Just make yourself holy. And it says it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a man, you can be a woman, child, like any Jew, not Jew, I think even. Right. So everybody, but you have to purify yourself. Right. And when you go to get advice from a holy person, and he gives you advice, and sometimes you think like, how does he know? And I have unfortunately some people who used to learn with us. So, and they went to big rabbis and asked them advice, and rabbis gave him like specific advice. Well, when they told me, I was shocked. I said, "Did you tell him these details?" He said, "No." He told me these details, but he did not tell this rabbi these details. And rabbi gave him exactly like step by step what to do, and you know what he did? Exactly zero. He did exactly opposite. Understand? So, but this rabbi and other people, in my from my experience, they have some kind of Ruach HaKodesh. They have some holy assistance for sure, right? But it was not for free. Was not born like that because they work on themselves and purify themselves, and they want to be Hashem's messengers, Hashem's assistants, and yeah, that's what Hashem do. He does like he distributes the holiness of people who want to be like you make yourself vessel and get ready. Okay, so that's about prophets. It's like Rambam treats this topic extensively in Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah, like the whole chapter about prophets. It's very interesting, and how to test them, who is a false prophet, who is not false prophets. Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So Frank also says, on the subject of being a prophet, can the penalty for a prophet who makes a mistake and speaks incorrectly, and the requirement to choose life make it required to try to choose to not be a prophet?
Could you read again? I mean, it's I don't understand what it says. One more time, please. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding this. Okay, on the subject of being a prophet,
Yes.
can the penalty for a prophet who makes a mistake and speaks incorrectly, and the requirement to choose life make it required to try to choose not to be a prophet?
Okay. I think I got the question. So first of all, nobody's obligated to be a prophet. So you can go, you can go to the schools of prophets, and you can never go to the schools of prophets. Nobody is obligating you, right? But there is special rules for the prophets. For example, they were allowed to give over only their prophecy. So sometimes they would hear the voice, whatever it means. That was they would not the voice. In some sense, the voice, yeah, the communication to another prophet. So he cannot just start walking around and say that's what Hashem said. Hashem said absolutely 100%. But is he allowed to say it? No, right? Because this prophecy was given to somebody else, and he's not allowed to say that that this prophecy was given to such and such person. So I'm just want to tell it over. Also not allowed. You understand? So there is like strict rules for the prophets, but they're not obligated. So I mean, if a person is scared for his life and he does not want to be a prophet, so don't be a prophet. So don't put yourself in that um, required stage, right? What is the required stage? So he has to be happy. He has to be pure, right? So if he was with his wife, for example, so he's not going to get prophecy until he purifies himself. So basically, a person lives normal life. He attends funerals, for example, right? Somebody, you live in a village, in a town, somebody died, and you participate in funeral, so you're not pure, so you're not going to get prophecy. You understand? So it's a dangerous thing, because if person is established prophet, people rely on him, whatever he says. So so it's not so simple to make a mistake. He would be responsible to tell something wrong to the community, something that he was not commanded to. Yeah, I would say it's dangerous. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.